Timothy Gager is the author of 8 books of foreign fiction and poetry. Well, we don't really like to talk about his porn, but you know, I just thought I'd add that in there. And his seven-liner, Touch, Good or Bad, The Bird. Welcome the amazing Timothy.
Hi everyone. I didn't really know what to read, so I googled my name and the word heat and fire, and 3 pieces popped up.
Sorry, Michael.
The show must go on. At 40, I was the oldest man to run away to join the circus, and I stayed about 10 years until I got sick. Very sick. My job... Lo siento, please be quiet, I'm working up here! My job had been to clean up the camp and feed 2 hobo dogs, Joe and Bangles, who were found somewhere along the way of our traveling show. Quickly, I was unable to even do that menial task. Doc Snickens offered me some of his miracle cure, but I swore off drinking for the past few years. I should have taken a slug, but it was a matter of principle at that point. If I had known then what I knew now, I would have stayed a drunk, never worried about what town or even what time it was. Now I knew everything there was to know. The trailer bounced to the next place as Maggie sat over me. She was known as the amazing woman with no arms or legs, who could drive and play video games with her nose. The crowd loved Maggie. What they didn't know is that the car and the games were pre-programmed. A corpse could have driven that car, but everyone wanted to believe in a good story which would warm their lives. When the date came, Maggie had a certain light about her, and she reached down to give me a hug with the warm arms of a million gods. I wanted to be cremated, but there was not time. The show had to move on. So Snickens and Wolf Boy built a huge fire and hoisted my stiff body in. I had left that body 3 hours and 13 minutes ago and was watching from a tree so I wouldn't have to rise out of those damn ashes. My body crackled in the flames, but my soul was totally clean. Snickens offered to do a eulogy, but he hemmed and hawed and finally admitted he had nothing to say. Maggie wheeled in the note in her lap and passed it to Doc Snickens. Is the note from him? Wolf Boy asked and pointed to the fire. It is, Snickens says. It says, I know how this will end, burned in a campground that I would have lovingly kept, but that's okay. If anyone wants to honor me by spreading my ashes wherever you see fit or appropriate in my honor, that would be the best I could have hoped for. Additionally, if you wanted to keep any of me, that would be fine too. You were the only family I ever had. The next morning, Wolf Boy and Snickens raked my remains in with the dirt. They tossed 2 bits of bone to Joe and Bangles, but they only sniffed at me. The caravan was ready to go, and I knew where I was going. I knew that hell didn't exist for anyone after they died. It was a place we all had to travel away from. Here's the second one. Bonfire. When the women discussed music they'd lost it to, none of it seemed romantic. Elaine, Pink Floyd. Lisa, 38 Special. But my golden earring, Twilight Zone, when the bullet hit the bone lyric, produced laughter louder, and when Sharon said she'd given it up to Sister Christian. When we moved to car accidents, because losing virginity was actually similar, and I said instant karma was on when I totaled my car and saw God. With Amy, she was on the phone yelling, where are you, where are you, where are you, to her boyfriend at 1 a.m. She continued the chant while the firefighters looked for Tony for another 30 minutes, but he wasn't ejected, he was home. Tammy told us that her ex-boyfriend went psycho and tried to kill everyone, including her, by driving 80 miles an hour into a tree, and only he died. To this day, she cannot listen to Dave Matthews. We told her a few minutes later that crashing to me had been a bad choice for her on the other thing we were talking about. Oh, the smoke, she said, and couldn't stop coughing.